Welcome back to the stream, everybody. Thank you all very much for all of the supers, and thank you for all of the attention over the last couple of days. It's been a really, really nice time. I had such an incredible time getting to talk with all of my friends the other day and to get to hang out with Luxiem. It felt like just a real blast from the past. It's like, I don't know, we haven't done like a lot of big group collabs for quite some time. Why is chat struggling in the way that it is? Why is it only updating once every 35 years? Yes, take your time. It's fine. Never mind, never mind. You guys have always been slow. Anyway, we hadn't done any group collabs for a while, and I think it was starting to sort of weigh on me, because I think that as everyone got busier and we all sort of developed our own identities and styles of content, it sort of became more and more difficult for us to find time to really get everyone together and to collab. But getting a chance to like actually spend a load of time with them reminded me how much I love those guys. And you know, after we did the what am I trying to say here? After we did the game show collab, which, by the way, thank you so much, guys, for making that such a special occasion. We literally, and I mean this, I planned that the day before it came out, because we had no plans. We had no idea what we were going to do, apart from Luca's VR chat world, which obviously he'd been planning for months. I had no idea what I was going to do. No one else had any idea what they were going to do. And so I was like, and I was rushing back and forth, like, what do I do? What do I do? And then I thought, oh, Mister, he has good ideas. What does he do? A game show. I'll do a game show. And so I just kind of threw that together, and it wound up to be a real fucking smash hit. Like, everyone loved it. I worked really, really hard on just getting it all together in such a short space of time, and it turned out to be good, and I'm glad it worked out well. Getting to like remember a lot of classic moments was also really good for my nostalgia, because it reminded me so well of how exciting it's been to spend time with all of these guys, and how exciting it's been to grow with them and get to learn with them. And I mean it when I say that when we did the VR chat world, I was like choking up a little bit, because it just reminded me of how far we've come. You know, it was mad, true madness, honestly, that after so much time and so much passion, energy, effort, everything, we're still us, and we still have that immense connection, and we're still working so hard for each other. I actually, after the collab was over, I felt really emotional, and I thought, you know what, I want more people to be able to like participate in this sort of in our connection and to participate in how wonderful it's been to follow us as a group. And so I made a playlist that you can now see on the channel, which I might have missed a few, but I believe it has every single Luxiem collab that there's ever been, even ones I'm not in. And I wanted to put that down there because I just sort of thought, like, if it's been this emotional of an experience for me, then surely it can be an emotional experience for you lot too. So I just wanted to make it easy for people so you can go through all the different eras, the Prop Night collabs, the first Minecraft one, which is still like an incredible memory. You know, I was feeling so nostalgic. I wanted to hop on a train and go back to the town I was living in before I moved so that I could get that fried chicken I used to get. You know, you guys remember the all of those old streams where I would order food halfway through. Every time I ordered food halfway through, if it wasn't pizza, usually it was that fried chicken with that buffalo sauce, the chicken tendies, yeah. It was like this tiny little solo restaurant, you know, and it wasn't anything that I could actually get from elsewhere, you know. And now that I've moved, I can't get it anymore. And so I really wanted to go back and just have those tendies and just live that life that I used to live. But I didn't wind up having enough time. It would have been quite a ways to go, and I didn't want to risk not being back on time for the other collabs. But maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll find time to do it soon. Who knows? Thank you for all the supers, everybody. Thank you, Nani, Rhea, Saki Kuje. Thank you very much for the Akasupa. Thank you, Cuckoo Meow, for the Akasupa. You guys are being so very polite. Eddie, thank you for the Akasupa. Very, very kind of you. Thank you so much. Thank you to Pilkcat. Thank you to Noriaki. Thank you to Manabi for the Akasupa. Thank you to Mino. Thank you very, very much. Hold on. Imako, thank you very much. Come on, give me a moment. Parang, thank you very much for the super. Mauku, Shetty, thank you very much. Sugaharu, thank you for the Akasupa. Surakula, thank you very much. Vox's Burnt Gloves. What does that say? Tabi, Frost. Beautiful names for a beautiful family. Porei, thank you for the Akasupa. From Yayan, thank you very much for the Akasupa. I hope you have a wonderful birthday, my darling. Gu, thank you very much. A name I can't read, thank you very much. Mayo, thank you very much for the Akasupa. So much love coming in from you guys. I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you so much. Tokito Ora, thank you very much for the massive Akasupa. And Yuki as well. Thank you to Tokito for the Akasupa as well. A lot of love from everyone. 977, thank you for the Akasupa. You guys are being insane today. Thank you. It's not... Motherfuckers, they're not free, but I mean, you know, you can send them if you want. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Lady Lily, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you for wishing me a happy 1-year anniversary. I'm really, really happy with how things have been turning out. Steffi Ackerman, thank you for the Akasupa. Happy 1 year. Thank you very much. Had a really, really nice time with everyone yesterday. Thank you for Viola Koroha for the Akasupa. Did I get that whole box of letters? I'm not sure. I will have to ask staff. Youngju, thank you very much for the super as well. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about today. The first one, because it's on my mind. Slag! Speaking of staff, that was a message from Shu Yamino. I wonder what he's talking about. Something hilarious, no doubt. Mute that shit for 2 hours. Get that shit out of my face. Okay, so we've got a bunch to talk about, even though I don't have the most time in the world, because in an hour we're going to be rewatching the debuts on Shu's channel. But to start with, there's been some discourse going on, and I figure we should nip this in the bud and talk about it. What's making that noise? It's my little glass of water knocking against my monitor. I was wondering what that sound was. I figured we should nip this in the bud and talk about it while we can. So... there's been some discourse about, especially following the VR chat collab with that certain design in it. Some people have been saying that it might be good to change the sort of to sort of establish an official design for this family, for the Kindred, to establish an official mascot. And since day one, I've always been, I never really thought about it, to be honest. When I joined, I never thought there needed to be a design. And after we had, this is a little bit of Kindred history, after our first date stream, I wasn't sure how to do a roleplay scenario. I wanted to respond to chat because Zatsu was all I had really, Zatsu in gaming was all I had really done up until that point. I wanted to be able to respond to what everyone was saying, but I wasn't sure how to make it as though it didn't exclude anybody. And so I made this weird headcanon up that the person I was talking to was a rapidly changing, cycling, single person that represented everybody all at once. And there was some people who sort of had the idea, oh, we're like a biblically accurate angel, we're like a horror beyond human comprehension. And then the commonly expressed design made by an amalgamation of thousands and thousands of souls. The design made by Yui wound up becoming a really popular representation of that. And we were smaller as a group at the time, you know, only, I think that was around 200k, and now we're a million past that. So it's a difficult thing to work on because I'm of two minds, right? First of all, I want everyone to feel included, and I don't want to show any kind of favoritism. The fact of it is that the only reason that design wound up becoming so universal and so popular is because I kind of just noticed it being co-opted by lots of different people, to the point where Yui, who's a fan artist who's been with us since the very beginning, has had to make a statement saying, you know, if you use my design, make sure to credit me. And so it's sort of, but the fact is, so many people were using it that for me, it felt like the simplest option, right? It just sort of felt like, well, people like this one. Let's just, when in doubt, we'll just go for that one, because I saw it get reused and reinterpreted by so many people. I thought, well, this must be the one people like. But apparently it doesn't represent everyone, and that does matter in a way. So I've been thinking about the right way. Obviously, it can't be used arbitrarily. Yes, it has to be credited. Has to, you know, all of that is very important. But to that end, I think it's really important for us to think about, like, how to solve this problem, right? And I don't think it should be that big of a deal. I don't think it should be a huge issue, because at the end of the day, the design of a Kindred mascot is nothing to do with my content. It's to do with how you guys interact with this community. And like I say, I don't think it's really a question of favoritism. I think it's the fact that I literally saw that design being used by so many people that I thought, oh, I guess I like that one. And then I just kind of stuck with it. You know, it was nice, right? But there are a few opinions floating around, and I'd like to discuss them. And so maybe we can come to some kind of a conclusion by the end of the day. At the end, but what I really want to stress is that this shouldn't be a big deal, right? It's important, sure, but I really don't think it's worth fighting anyone over or causing any problems for, because at the end of the day, I literally, quite literally, have a music video highlighting the designs of many, many different Kindred. More than 700 designs were submitted for that video, right? My intention is always to uplift the creativity of everyone in this community. If you want, I was going to make a tweet about it, but I hesitated. And I wanted to say that a Kindred can look like anything. Because, let's be honest, a real person can look like or sound like or act like anything in real life. There's no official human being mascot, because that would be stupid. We all look so different. Humans and demons alike. We all look different in every way. So for a while, what I wanted was for everyone's creativity to really kind of like come out, and for the Kindred, when you think about them, to be represented not by a massive blob of the same design, all just sort of, you know, and not to say that any of my genmates' approaches to the fan design are bad in any way. Of course, I really appreciate how adorable something like the Quildren, you know, just a simple little design with a little quill in it, all being just this little ball of happy little people. I love that too, but for me, I've always really enjoyed seeing a very diverse crowd of, like, I feel like looking at a room of Kindred should be like, Where's Waldo? You know, you're looking at a big room full of people who have all these different motifs and looks and feels and themes and designs that make the room look busy and exciting. And I think that's my intention. So when in doubt, if someone posts a picture of a PNG of Jesse Pinkman's left cheek, and says it's that Kindred Sona, it is. It appears as a PNG, and it just kind of floats around like one of those Gary's Mod enemies, you know? That's just how it works. And I think that's the problem, right? I will never change that rule. I'm very keen on sticking to the fact that the Kindred Sona should be the truest representation of what we look like. A bizarre design that anyone can come up with and say, that's me. I love that. I think that's fantastic. But when it comes to official projects, what I ran into is essentially that we've had it with both Selene and Luca doing their own projects. And they've approached me saying, can you give me a design for the Kindred? And of course, I don't have one. And so when it came to thinking about what I should submit, I didn't know. And so I thought, well, you know, I guess Yui's is the most popular and lots of people like that one. So I'll just send them in that one, right? And of course, some people see this as a form of favoritism. Some people see this as, I don't feel represented by this. I don't feel represented by this or that. So it's a difficult thing to come to terms with. But I would say that maybe in future, purely to represent either people who don't want to create their own Kindred Sona or people who feel, hang on a minute. Hang on. I've got an idea. Hold on. Where is it? Why am I cooking? Listen, I'm talking about the Spore Kindred, right? I don't think that should be the official design, but if you want to use the Spore Kindred, you can, all right? I'm not going to stop you. If you want to be a cheeked up little bird creature, then you're more than welcome to, okay? But I think that overall, because, and I didn't think about this before, because it's a simple design, I feel like maybe it'd be best to go with this guy, right? I feel like he's always sort of represented design-wise the way that I look and the way that I act and the way that I feel. And I think the reason I was hesitant to use onigiri is because he's a dude. He's a guy. You know, he's my mate. I know him. You know, he hangs out on my belt. But I think that overall, as a character that represents us, I think that onigiri represents your guys' interests quite well, because back when onigiri used to mod for us, he was always bullying me, always taking the piss. And I feel like you guys do that too, in a healthy extent. So I feel as though he's almost like, when he raises his club, it's like he's sort of leading your voice, and he's saying, you know what, my lord, you're a silly bastard, and I'm gonna hit you on the tip of the dick, and that's that. So, and if anything, the onigiri with his club giving me a bonk is like telling me to slow down and stop being so ferociously horny all the time. So maybe this design is for the best. I'm not saying, so let me make some caveats, right? Let me make some really serious statements about this, because I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. I don't think that onigiri should represent any one person's individual expression of what a kindred should look like. You can design a kindred to look any way that you want. If you want to be a biblically accurate angel, you can. If you want to be a literal ball of rice, a PNG of some rice, you can. If you want to look like a bag of porridge, you can. If you want to look like my nutsack, you're going to have to use your imagination, but you can. I feel as though when it comes to projects and when it comes to representing us as a collective, as a mascot, it's probably for the best that we use this guy, onigiri. He's already a part of my design motif in many ways, and so I think that keeping him around and his simple little face, hey, his overall look and design is so simple that even I can draw it. And you guys know how bad I am at drawing, so I think overall that's probably for the best. Obviously, feel free, if you guys have any other ideas of your own. I'm just one guy, and I was quite... Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I tried to have some water because I was feeling motion sick during VR last night, and it had a very distinct metallic taste to it. And I went to bed feeling quite ill, so I'm not going to be drinking my tap water for a while. I'm going to have to talk to the owners of my building and see if something's going on. So I went to bed after the VR chat collab, responded to a few tweets about this issue, and then went to sleep. And then all of this shit started happening. So remember, I'm one guy, okay? I'm one person. I'm muddling my way through this as best I possibly can. And I did want to say real quick, I've seen some further evidence, having woken up, that some people haven't been behaving. I've seen some evidence that some people who were engaging in this and saying that I should make some changes, and they were being critical, which, by the way, is welcome, very much welcome. Some people who were being critical were receiving harassment from some people, and so, as usual, because I've said this time and time again, be good to each other. And if someone says something that you don't necessarily appreciate or agree with, please leave them alone or be respectful. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. And if you've ever engaged in this kind of behavior, as I've said a million billion times before, I do not want you around here, and you are free to get the fuck out, okay? And to the people who suffered from this kind of behavior, I take your opinions on board, and even though I might not necessarily always agree with you, and even though it might not feel right all of the time, I just want you to know that I see you, I hear you, and I really truly hope that you feel a little bit better now that we've managed to have a conversation about this, okay? Because we're a good community. The vast majority of you are wonderful, really wonderful people who relate to and enjoy each other's company and lift each other up. And some people have this intention to give us a bad name. And so what I want to do is to really insist, let's please just all try and work together on having a much better outlook. Okay? I think that I've come to a conclusion, and I'm very impulsive, right? It's one of the side effects of having a little bit of, well, a lot of ADHD is that you make a lot of impulsive decisions. And I've realized that I need to stop, in an even remotely controversial situation, I need to not reply to anyone individually. I want to get involved in the discussion, and I want to help people to come to a conclusion that's best for everyone. But I realize that when I do that, whether I intend to or not, I am singling people out, and I am putting a spotlight on them that they may not necessarily want. So it's difficult to get used to, because when I've been involved in communities beforehand like this, it's never been an issue. I never had to think about that. I could say whatever I want to whoever I wanted, and I never had to think about it that much. But things are different now, and I have to do better, and I will. So that's all I wanted to say about that. If you, when in doubt, we'll try and use onigiri as the official mascot of the Kindred, but like, I want to really, really insist. Okay, let's say less mascot and more like emblem. You know, like, you know how, let's say it this way, right? You know how in war, a country might give a soldier a medal, right? A country might give a soldier a little medal that says, well done, right? A lot of countries have different ones. For us, being a warfaring nation, of course, we need medals, and I would say treat onigiri less like a mascot and more like an emblem, more like an insignia, something you can put on your chest to say, yep, that's me, I'm a Kindred. If you personally feel like you want to be a little onigiri, then go for it. But if you want to be literally anything else, just say it's your Kindred Sona, and that is reality. Like I said, if you want to be a pot of flowers, go for it. If you want to be a sentient GameCube controller, go for it. If you want to be a webcam, go for it. You can be anything. Make any design you want, and it will be an equal and wonderful part of this community. And that is my holy decree. And if anyone disagrees with me, fuck you, get out. Right. End of discussion. Thank you very much for being patient with me on that one. Ami, thank you very much for the Arcus Super. Thank you very much. It should be a time to celebrate. You're absolutely right. And I have been celebrating. I've been spending a lot of time just relaxing. So we had the big vacay where a lot of 4 other Niji members came to the UK. We had Ike, we had Shu, we had Uki, and we had Nina, and they came to stay with us. And so I've met Ike and Nina before, but I haven't met Shu or Uki. Now, meeting Shu was really fun, but the thing about it is, meeting Shu was really fun, meeting Uki was really fun, but the real important part of it is the fact that we really just went to hang. We had some ideas for a, like off collabs, and we wound up doing one, but at the end of the day, the important part is that we were just there to chill, and I think that was really good for a lot of us, you know. That was a really difficult time for a lot of members of NIJISANJI, and so getting a chance to just hang out somewhere away from home and to relax for a long time was really good for us. It's interesting. So it was my first time meeting Shu, and it was incredible. I really enjoyed meeting him. He's so relaxed. Like I don't think I've ever seen him want for anything. If anything goes wrong, he's like, oh, and he just kind of laughs it off and gets on with it, which I always really appreciate. People get mad at me because my attitude when it comes to like plans is to make as big of a plan as you can, but if something goes wrong, we'll figure it out. And I think I think Shu is very much of the same mindset as me. Just figure it out as you go, because it doesn't matter that much at the end of the day. And so that's what he and I were doing. So someone asked if he's tall. He is tall, but not quite as tall as me. And so yeah, we were just hanging out. I met Uki for the first time. Uki is exactly like he is online. He is flirtatious. He is quite quiet. He's very quiet. And I think me being an extrovert who is also very shy in some instances, sometimes one-on-one it was sort of difficult to have too much conversation. Because it's like, he's like, I'm content not to talk, and I was like, we should be talking right now, but I don't know what to say because I'm shy. And so it would just sort of feel weird for me. But it was still really nice when we did get into a conversation. And I remember we were on the train, we were changing platforms, and I don't know what the context was, but I said, I remember bringing up, and I said, I cooked a pizza. And that made him laugh a lot, which was nice. And it's nice to know that I Cooked a Pizza wound up winning me the round the other day as well. I Cooked a Pizza really came in clutch for me. And of course, yes, of course, you guys, of course, the average Stargazer was weeping, and I imagine the average Kindred was weeping as well. As I said goodbye to Uki at the airport when he went home, he said, Fox, can I have a kiss on the forehead? And I was like, and I literally cupped his face in my hands and I went, mwah, and I gave him a big sloppy kiss on the forehead. And I want you guys to know that I am actively lapping up your jealousy right now. Just if I could liquefy your jealousy, and if I could like melt that into a pot and drink it, it would be like nectar, baby. It would be delicious. Stargazers and Kindred are like. But yes, remember guys, don't be too jealous, because you guys get kisses every single day, okay? You know, that was his first time receiving a patented Vox Akuma kiss. So, you know, that's pretty much, you know, I think if I wanted to, because so little happened content-wise, we were just relaxing. The one moment that I think I really want to talk about is we went to a restaurant, and it's a chain restaurant with lots of different branches. So it's not going to dox me if I say where we went. We went to a fancy bougie ass restaurant called the Ivy. And we were in there for maybe 3 hours. We ordered big meals. Ike and Shu had a steak. I had a leg of lamb and a steak tartare. And we went in there and we sat and we talked and we drank and we relaxed. And it was just the most soft, calm, lovely time that I've had in such a long time. It's not Ivy as in Ike. It's called the Ivy, right? We were just sat at the back on this big table, swapping jokes, sharing stories, drinking a lot, eating this wonderful food with waiters who, in a bougie place like that, they don't hurry you out the door. You stay as long as you need to. We stayed for a long time, even until after closing. The restaurant closed and they didn't ask us to leave. They just let us finish up while they were cleaning up, which is just, you know, such a relaxing experience. And I feel like that really distilled just how happy I am to be a member of NIJISANJI and to have such incredible friends. We all got to spend so much time together and it was relaxing. Beyond relaxing. I felt like I could have fallen asleep in my chair, but I didn't want to because I was enjoying the moment so much. So definitely needed. Really needed. I had a wonderful time, and I'm really glad that you guys wanted to give me the patience to spend some time by myself. As far as the Luxiem anniversary goes, you've already seen all of it. I mean, there's not really much to really talk about that we haven't already spoken about on stream, and that I imagine we won't talk about on Shu's stream coming up in a little bit. It is interesting, right? Because it's like, oh, what do you think about it? It's like, what else? Chat's dead! Come back! Please! Where is it? Bomb. Okay. So there's not much to really say about the anniversary other than that I'm really happy with my friends. There's nothing else much to say about it. The year begins again and I'm really interested to see what will come of this next year. I think, because I will be here for the charity stream around New Year's, but I kind of want to talk about my New Year's resolutions already. Yes, any goals for my second year? Well, I guess since we're already past the anniversary, to this time last year I was having my intro 2.0 and we were playing Super Smash Brothers. So I guess if they were my New Year's resolutions for my second year as a member of NIJISANJI EN, what would they be? So I have one that I thought about, but that definitely isn't achieved. Well, I guess technically, but it probably, probably isn't achievable within a year, technically. But I was looking at this one, I was looking at this website that tells you all of the different, it tells you a lot of stats about YouTube, and I like stats. I like seeing, I'm a RuneScape player, I like seeing numbers go up, and so I was having a look at all of the different rankings, and what's interesting about this website is that they rank super chats, and we, thanks to the immense kindness of all of you, we were, last year, the second most super chatted channel on the entirety of YouTube for the entire year, which is wild. It's nuts how much love and attention you guys have given to me over that time. We were number 2, and the first is, I actually don't know. But they had like, it was like almost double. Something happened on that first channel, and I'm not really sure what it was. But congratulations to them, of course. So I had a thought, and maybe it's a little selfish, But I think maybe not for next year, but for my career as a whole, one day I would like to be, of all time, the most super chatted channel ever. Right now we're at like number 35. And I think given 3 years or so, I reckon we can actually do that, to be honest. And what I want to say, don't, in response to that, give more than you would. This is my challenge. This is for me to do. So don't go out of your way to give me extra money just because I've said I want to reach a goal. That's silly, right? What I want to say is that if you feel as though in a certain situation that you want to send a super chat, it would be because you want to. And what I also want to say is that if you want to give a super chat, it's because I have been making content that you like. And I've been making content that is conducive to that kind of behavior. So don't make it unfair for the others. Don't give out the ass just because you want to see me succeed. Give because you want to give. If I make a stream that makes you want to give a super, that's when you give one. Not because you feel as though you need to be part of a collective. That's my goal. It shouldn't be yours. That is my goal. And I'm going to make content that lives up to that standard. I want to be really ambitious. And that, I think, sort of leads into how I feel about this next year. I think that a lot of my despondency and a lot of my hurt from the last 6 months has been because all I was trying to do was to recover. I think all I was trying to do was to stay safe, stay happy, and take care of myself. But that isn't who I am. I think that when it comes to content creation, and I'm really inspired by Mr., who honestly at this point is one of my best friends. I feel really inspired by when he returned from his break and he mentioned that having big goals and being ambitious is a really healthy thing and it's not bad for you. At my core, I'm a deeply competitive person and I really want to shoot for the stars. I have been blessed beyond reality to be the most subscribed member of NIJISANJI, and that is a title that I feel as though I need to live up to and then I need to earn. I can't just sit upon my laurels and then get comfy. I want to keep helping this community grow. I want this community to grow and 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 grow for all of eternity. Having this, I think that it's definitely this way for a lot of people because obsession with statistics can make, especially for YouTubers, it can make a lot of people very upset, and it's the source of like a big place of insecurity. You know, it's like, oh, my numbers aren't what they used to be. Oh, today was worse than yesterday. Blah 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 blah. But I think that and anyone who thinks that way and believes that way is well within their right to do so. And I also, for a long time, felt that way. But truthfully, for my money, I really want to keep an eye on that kind of thing because growing it is part of the gig. This is, at the end of the day, this is my job and I love it very deeply. There's sort of this weird combination where what we've got is a really sort of competitive and exposing vulnerable career where anything could cause it to go wrong at any minute. Or, you know, and as well, it can be comforting because technically with how generous you are and how devoted my biggest fans are, I truly could do whatever I wanted. I could just play Dark Souls for the rest of my life. But I really don't want to. You guys deserve better than that. I want to be able to make stuff that's really interesting and unique. And it's what I wanted to do this week with the game show stream, with the acting stream that unfortunately has to be rescheduled. But I'm still going to do that. I love big ideas and I love events and my dream... Okay, here's another New Year's resolution, right? In 2023, I want to host an event like the Kuzuha Cup. I don't know what game it'll be. I don't know if it'll even be a game. Like Fua Senpai's Splatoon tournament, like the Kuzuha PUBG tournament. I want to host one of those, and I want to bust my ass to host one of those. After the charity stream, which for all intents and purposes, it's looking like we are well and ready to go on New Year's Eve. I want to host an event like that. I want to be a commentator. I want to get everyone together and give everyone a good time. And I want for this whole community to unite over something. That's something that I've been thinking about for a long time, and I really want to do it. There's also, I cannot talk about it yet, but there is a lot happening with my next cover song. I'm already reaching out to try and obtain permission to sing it. And it's proving quite difficult, but if we do manage to obtain permission, it will turn out to be quite a big deal, is all I'm going to say. So, my goal is to make that into a real event as well. So in 2023, hopefully I'll be able to host an event like that. Hopefully I'll be able to release this cover. And also, that long-awaited lore project will finally probably... I've been chatting with the artist who has been drawing the comic, and I asked them, you know, for a certain part, I was saying, you know, it's amazing so far, but for this section, let's make it bigger, you know. And so it may take a little longer than imagined. But so far, the artwork for it is astonishing. Imagine my debut lore, but even better. You are seeing someone whose skill and artistry has grown over time into an immense capacity. I'm wondering if perhaps I could show you guys a teaser, because it has been in the works. Very soon it will have been in the works for a year, which is kind of just what you get when you try to make something that personal. I'm gonna look back and see if I can't find the very first page and just show you a little bit of it. Oh, that's good. Hold on. Okay, because I don't want to show the whole thing. I will only be showing just a little bit. I want to show something that is so out of context, it practically doesn't make sense. Okay. So this, and I'm serious about this because I want to keep it very secretive. This is all you are going to see. This is all you are going to see until the project is completed. Okay? And that's it. So yes, look forward to that. A cave, where, when, why? Stay tuned to find out, and you will find out. Yes, and if you think that artwork is good, you gotta wait to see what comes next. This hole was meant for me. No. Your hole is meant for me. But anyway, that's enough about that. I'm very excited about this whole project, and hopefully it goes well at the end of it all. I'm sure it will. So that will be releasing next year. Langwan, thank you for the Akasupa. I love you. Kuriwa, thank you very much. Xiaoyu, thank you. Estai, thank you for the Akasupa. Yan, Lena, Chesy Chestnut, thank you very much. Murasaki, Tian Tian, Solix Captor, Sarina, Louis, thank you for the Akasupa. We shall be number one. Yes, like Robbie Rotten. Angela, thank you for the Akasupa. So yes, I want to take this job very seriously. Sal, thank you for the Akasupa. Happy birthday! What a coincidence! I'm really glad you've had a wonderful year. And might I say, Sal in particular, you always send a little super with no message at the beginning of literally every single stream, and it always makes me smile. Thank you so much for your genuine dedication over all of that time. Thank you very much for the super to a person whose name I can't read. I'm sure it sounds lovely. Michiko, thank you for the Akasupa. Hopefully we stay together for many, many years. Super excited. Yes, I hope you are. Thank you, Kayanon, Ignis, Ren, Yue, thank you. JS, thank you for the Akasupa. And I saw many of your supers yesterday as well. Thank you so much for all of your support. Mun, thank you very much. I love you too. So, I think that my thought with it recently has been that now that I've had my tremendous epiphany, Olivia, thank you for the Akasupa. And Vivian, thank you for the Akasupa. Now that I've had my tremendous epiphany about myself and my content and how much my individuality matters, I think that I need to treat this job less as a place of, well, it is comforting in a way, but I think I need to treat it less like a seat and more like a treadmill. Because I'm in a position where that many, many, many people would be working their asses off to get to. There's only one Vox Akuma, and he's me. And I think that when you go from being a relative nobody to suddenly becoming a member of Luxiem, you don't really realize quite how huge of a deal you actually are. And I didn't realize. There's a lot of competition out there. And Julian, thank you for the Akasupa. Of course you get a kiss. It's definitely difficult to grasp. And there are so many things that happen online that I'm not aware of. But all I know is the VTuber community is bigger and more intense than it's ever been. And I think that I have the power to do a lot here. Don't go overworking myself. I know. And thankfully, I'm in a position where I can, now that I've taken breaks before, I can continue to pace myself in the right way. But being ambitious doesn't mean I'm overworking. Sometimes it can just mean that I'm working to an appropriate degree. Adeline, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Merry Christmas to you too. Congratulations on getting your degree. And Linhith, thank you for the Akasupa as well. So, moving from here, what I want to do is to find the perfect balance of ambitious, high-effort content with stuff that makes me personally really happy. Because when I'm happy, it will shine through what I do and everyone will be able to tell. And when you're in a... It's like, I don't know if this is a normal human thing or if I just have a sixth sense. But if I'm hanging out with someone and they're upset, even if they're an expert at hiding it, sometimes you just know, right? Sometimes you can just tell. Even if there are no real signals being given off that they are upset, sometimes you just know. And I think that more people can do that than we might realize. And so when I stream and when I'm not making something that I enjoy and when there's a burden on my shoulders, people will be able to tell and that'll make it less fun. Oh no, he's an empath. I didn't think about that. Me, an empath, seeing the sweating emojis in chat and sensing that the Kindred might perhaps be horny. Yeah, thank you. You guys have already spent a year with me. But I think that something that kind of motivates me is to know that there are peaks and valleys in everyone's career. Things go up, things go down, but there's always a chance to really bring something new to the table. Thank you, Meowie. Thank you, Witchestry. Thank you, Crystal, for the Akasupa, and thank you, Ami, for the Akasupa as well. Oh, Cian, thank you for the super one. Thank you, Reinhardt. So yeah, it's an interesting future to look forward to. Evelyn, thank you for the Akasupa. And another one of my New Year's resolutions, and this one is really important. I want to collab with Luxiem more often, because I love those guys very much. Very, very, very dearly. I love those guys. And I was reminded of that when I got to meet up with Ike and Shu, and when I got to do all the collabs yesterday, and we're going to meet up again in 20 minutes time. I love them very dearly indeed, and it's one of the reasons why I made that playlist. And going forward, we don't have to make it a huge deal. It's not like once a week we will do this, once a week we will do that, but I want to see those guys more often, and I want to share moments with them, and just to realize how blessed we are to be in this position, and how blessed we are to have found each other. Because not only is it a miracle, not only is it a miracle that we were cast to play these parts originally, but it is an even larger miracle that we wound up being of such similar mind. It is an even bigger miracle that we have me, a relative Le Film-obsessed normie who seems to be constantly getting into trouble. Ike, a certified weeb who is obsessed with Vocaloid and can death metal scream. Luca, how the fuck do I describe Luca? Shu, a tech genius. Mr. Who's Mr. How we all link together in such a beautiful way is beyond me. But whenever we get on call together, especially while we're off stream and we're just hanging out, which doesn't happen all that much because we're all so busy. I remember it was really funny. Yesterday, right before we joined, I won't tell you what happened because it would get us in trouble. Chinikaide, thank you for the Super. I won't tell you because it would get us in trouble. But I told a joke earlier, and then Mr. said something else about the joke in chat, and it was like a really like raunchy joke, and it took me a couple tries to read it, and I was like, oh my god! And then I joined him on call right before the collab, and we chatted about it. We were just laughing, and it didn't matter, and we were just chilling. It was fantastic. Thank you, Yui, for the Akasupa, and thank you very much for all of your hard work over the past year. I hope you're having a wonderful Christmas. Our darling golden retriever. Yeah, Dog Boy, VR Chat Man, Pog Man, so many different things. The fucking devil himself in any game that allows him to fuck with people, which is a lot of them. Thanks, Jade, for the super, and thank you, Foxyberry, as well. Konami, thank you. Lily, thank you. I think that if there's one thing that I really want to stress... See, Clibs, hello! It has been a while. Thank you for the Akasupa. I hope you've been taking care of yourself, okay? I will continue doing what I love, and I hope you can as well. And Moy and Jen, thank you for the Akasupa. Thank you for the Akasupa. Whiny meant, thank you very much. Mwah. If I wanted to say one thing before I move on, Grace, thank you very much for the Akasupa. Thank you so much. I love you too. So, there's one thing that I'm really keen on saying. Thank you again for the other super, YSJ. Thank you so much for the other super. There's one thing that I really want to say that is important to me. And I think this is, at my core, this is the center of my epiphany, and it's the most important thing that I've realized. In my life, people like Mr. have said this as well before. There are a lot of things about my personal life that I will never be able to say, nor do I particularly want to say. But if you've watched a few of my streams, you probably know that I've been through quite a few difficult experiences that led me up to this point. And when demons are a lot like humans, and we have brains too, and the way that brains work is that they learn and they adapt and they form connections based on your experiences. But the thing about a brain is that sometimes they're stupid. Sometimes what a brain does is it forms a connection in order to keep itself safe that doesn't make sense when you're not in much danger. And there was a time where I felt like I was constantly in danger. Throughout the latter half of this year, I felt as though I was struggling to avoid a situation that hadn't even happened yet. The fact is, I am so preoccupied with the past, and that might actually be really ironic considering my story and how much of, I am NIJISANJI Ian's demon from the past, but I am preoccupied with the past to the point where I cling to it too hard. You understand what I'm saying? If I ever get a good thing, do you guys ever get the feeling, or that, do you guys ever get that sensation that when you have a really, really good thing, it feels like it's easier to lose? It feels like if you blink or if you think too hard about it, it'll just and it's gone. I think in the latter half of this year, I've been sort of, oh god, this is a terrible analogy. It's like my response to some controversy and my response to some events is like when you reach ice in getting over it. Because when you reach ice in getting over it, you need to power your way up all in one go, or you will surely slip back down and have to start again. And if you fall down, and if you desperately try jamming your hammer into that ice, pulling yourself back up, if you desperately just cling, no, give it back, give it back, give it back, you'll fall all the way down, and you might even go down the snake and have to start the game over again. Sometimes, the right answer is to let yourself slip down. Think about it a little harder, and remember that a new dawn will come, and you'll get another chance in a little while. I feel like I metaphorically fell down the snake. Not the worst analogy I've made. Thank you. I fell down the snake this year. And it came because I was so scared of, and I'll say it in layman's terms because I'm sick of doing analogies. I have a real aversion to, let's say, being replaced or being moved on from. And sometimes when you're this big, it's impossible for every single one of your fans to be someone who's entertained by you 24 hours a day. Interests change, people change, communities evolve, and they grow. And so have we. And so, sweetie, thank you for the act super. Within this experience, what I've been doing wrong, I think, is desperately and in agony clinging to everything that used to be without embracing what this could become. I was so preoccupied with the past that it made me into a very nervous shell of the charismatic and entertaining person you all fell in love with. And so going forward, my eyes will be set upon the future. What could be, what will be, and to only really appreciate and enjoy what had gone before, right? Where did chat go? They got nervous. They're hiding themselves because they're crying. So that's it. I need to be less preoccupied with the bad and to focus on the good, to invite new kindred in order to make this community into something that grows and grows and grows. And eventually, and it might not be easy, but eventually, what we'll have, hopefully, is a group and a community, and even better, a larger community, not just Kindred, but the VTubing community in general, who looks at the Kindred and thinks, wow, maybe I'd like to be a part of that. And that's not just on me, that's on you too. Alright guys, like we said earlier, let's be nice to each other. Let's invite newcomers in, even if they've got no idea who I am, what I do, even if they don't enjoy... Maybe they don't enjoy ASMR, maybe they don't enjoy gaming streams, maybe they don't enjoy Zatsudan, maybe they only enjoy one of them. Everyone's welcome. Everybody. Literally. Male, female, somewhere in between, or none at all. Wherever you come from on this planet, there's a place for you in here, and I want for you, Kindred, to remember that. And if someone wants to be a part of this, even if they're an outsider, and even if you don't recognize them, welcome them in. Let them understand how nice it can be to be a part of this, okay? We're not an exclusive club. We are a big, big family, and I'd like to remind you that a clan's strength is in its numbers. We won't be able to defeat Tokugawa unless we start bolstering our ranks, and so let's invite some more people in, shall we? Kazem, thank you very much. Dating, thank you for the super. Zan, thank you very much. Pei-chan, thank you for the Aka Super. I love you too. Dear Dreamer, thank you very much. Anna, thank you for the Aka Super. It's going to be a busy week. Have a pleasant rest and let yourself be spoiled. I will, and I'm so excited to go visit my family. Maureen Chen, thank you very much. Eldenai, thank you very much. Dora as well, thank you very much. Yuan Yuan Camellia, thank you very much for the Aka Super as well. 02, thank you very much for the Aka Super as well. Mary Lively, thank you very much for the Aka Super as well. Usaginiku's Clip, thank you very much for the super. Tep Tep, thank you very much. Sensen, thank you very much. Benny Benny, thank you very much for the Aka Super. Let us keep our eyes upon the future, certainly. Sounds good to me. Alright, I've only got 10 minutes. Lays, thank you for the Aka Super. I've only got 10 minutes. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop downstairs. I'm going to go find somewhere to grab some coffee. And I am going to get... I'm going to get on with this stream with Shu. Mufang, thank you very much for the Aka Super. And... Moini. Pomocat, thank you for the Aka Super. I'm glad you enjoyed the talk. I like motivating people. And I'm motivating myself too. Conti-san, thank you. Nebula, thank you for the Aka Super. Roku, 69, thank you. Ryo Hoshino, thank you. Steffi Ackerman, Mianya, Rumi, Chu, thank you very much. Okay, I really do have to go, so I'm going to leave. Why the fuck chat just isn't working? Susan, I need you to help me figure this out. Bell and FF, thank you very much. Okay, that's going to be all from me for today, but you can see me in literally 10 minutes on Shu's channel where we're going to be rewatching our debuts. So in a big speech I've made about not getting hung up on the past, we're going to go ahead and look to the past. So I will see you all in a little while. Thank you for coming to see me today. We'll be back with a long requested stream tomorrow where I will be... I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do handcam for it because I don't really have a comfortable setup for reading books with it. I'll figure it out. We will be reading The Picture of Dorian Gray. And I'm very excited to do that. I actually have a physical copy of the book, which is why I've got the handcam, so I'm excited for that. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you to Hum Hum for that. And I will see you in about 10 minutes. Bye-bye. Zook. Zook. Now.